Okay, so let's look at states of matter. Now, we talked about different kinds of matter. Now let's talk about states. All right, this is kind of interesting. So our learning goal here is to identify the states and the physical and chemical properties of matter. All right, so first of all, solids. Solids have a definite shape and a definite volume, okay? And their particles are close together, and then particles move very slowly. All right. An example here is amethyst. A solid is a purple form of quartz that contains atoms of silicon and oxygen, just like iron. Okay. It's got some other things in there too that make it nice and purple. Okay, so that's a solid. It has a definite shape and a definite volume. A liquid has an indefinite shape but a definite volume, right? So, for example, if you pour water from one cup into another, the shape changes, but the volume stays the same. The particles are very close together, but they move pretty quickly. Well, all right, so it says slowly, not compared to a gas. They're mobile, but compared to a gas, they move slowly. All right, but obviously way faster than solid. Okay. Now a gas is very different. It has an indefinite shape and an indefinite volume. Right, the same shape and the same shape and the same volume of the container that they're in. The particles are super far apart, like way farther apart than liquids and solids, okay? And the particles move blazingly fast compared to liquids and obviously solids. We can, to some approximation, say that solids particles don't move. They do move, but they basically stay in one location. Okay, so let's do a learning check here real quickly. Pause the video, look at these questions, and then unpause it and look at my answers. Okay, hopefully you paused it. Identify each as a solid, liquid, or gas. It has a definite volume, but it takes the shape of the container. Aha, liquid. Its particles are moving rapidly. Okay, let's call that a gas. Way faster than anything else, right? Its particles fill the entire volume of any container. That's a gas. Its particles have a fixed arrangement. That's a solid. Its particles are close together, but they move randomly. That is definitely a liquid. All right. Another learning check. Pause the video and check my answers. Okay, so vitamin tablets. Identify. That's definitely a solid. Eye drops are liquids. Vegetables are liquids. A candle, well, that's a solid, right? Let's talk about the fire that comes out of the top, right? A candle is a solid, and air in a tire is a gas. Okay? So let's now talk about physical and chemical properties. Physical properties are characteristics that are observed or measured without changing the identity of the substance. Okay? They include shape, physical state, boiling and freezing points, color, and density. Right? So we use here as an example copper. Copper has these physical properties. It's reddish orange. It's shiny. It's a good conductor of heat and electricity. It's a solid at 25 degrees Celsius. And its melting point is pretty hot, and its boiling point is even hotter. Okay? So those are examples of physical properties of copper. All right. Now physical change, and we're gonna enter a core chemistry skill. We need to identify physical and chemical changes, and that's where we're going now. Okay. So physical change occurs in a substance if there is a change in its state. In other words, if we go from a liquid to a solid, which we call freezing, right? Or a change in its physical shape, right? That's a physical change. Or no change in the identity. I'm sorry, but also we do emphasize there's no change in the identity or the composition of the substance. Okay, so ice and steam are made of the same thing, H2O. Okay, so let's do a learning check. Pause the video, get answers, and come back. Okay, so classify each of the following as a change of state or a change of shape. Okay, chopping a log into kindling wood. This is definitely a change in shape, right? Water boiling in a pot, state. That's a change in state. Ice cream melting is a change in state. Ice cream freezing in a freezer is also a change in state. Cutting dough into strips. That's simply a change in shape. All right, let's talk about chemical properties and changes now. Chemical properties describe the ability of a substance to change into a new substance. When a chemical change takes place, the original substance is turned into one or more new substances with new chemical and physical properties. That's chemical. Okay? So sometimes you might think I've got a physical change, but if it's chemical, we're going to call it might also have physical property changes, but we're going to call it a chemical change. All right, so during a chemical change, a new substance forms that has a new composition, new chemical properties, and of course also new physical properties. Sugar caramelizing at a high temperature is an example of a chemical change. All right, so there's some caramel sugar up there on top of a piece of flan, and it has caramelized sugar, which has gone through a chemical change. All right, so I put these tables in here. I left them in here because they're a little tedious, but I think they're helpful. Examples of some physical and chemical changes. Physical changes, water boiling, copper being drawn into a wire, sugar dissolving, paper is being cut into tiny pieces. Okay? And chemical changes, something getting rusty or shiny silver being oxidized, a piece of wood burning, also oxidized, right? Heating sugar forms a small, okay, that changes the chemical and physical properties of a piece of sugar, right? It's a chemical change. And then iron, which is gray, oxidizing, rusting, right? So those are chemical and physical changes. And another table which I think is useful, a property is considered physical, such as color, shape, odor, how does it smell, luster, is it shiny, size, melting point, or density. It's chemical if it indicates the ability of a substance to form another substance. A property is paper can burn, iron can rust, and silver can tarnish, okay? The change would be if you are changing state, changing size, or shape, okay? It's chemical change if you form a new substance, such as rust, right? Or paper burning, making ashes, or silver tarnishing. All right, so let's do a couple learning checks, and then we'll be done. Pause the video and make a guess, and then come back, okay? Okay, so classify each as physical or chemical change. Ice melts in the sun. It's still H2O. That is definitely physical. Paper can burn. That's definitely chemical. A silver knife can tarnish. That's definitely chemical, right? It's like rusting. It's oxidizing of silver. A magnet removes particles from a mixture. That's definitely physical, right? Okay, let's do another knowledge check or another learning check. Pause the video and come back. Okay, classify each of the following changes as physical or chemical. Burning a candle, definitely chemical, right? Ice melting, physical. Toasting a marshmallow, chemical. Cutting a pizza, physical. Iron rusting in an old car, chemical, right? All right, and if those don't make sense, go back and review these tables here. Go to your textbook, table 3.3 and table 3.4, and hopefully that will be helpful. All right, good luck. See you soon.